everyone, welcome to today's tutorial, and today I will be showing you how you can actually create this really simple Instagram story by using an image and using a letter in Adobe Photoshop. It's quite easy to make, and without further ado, let's begin right away. So this is how you want your final result to look like. So depending on the image that you're using and the letter that you are using, the results will vary a little bit. Okay. So this is the final result and I've already saved it in a PSD file as well. So I've already opened up my document right here. This is going to be 1920 by 1080 pixels. The resolution is going to be 300 and the color mode is going to be in RGB format. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I will be opening up the image I want here in my document. So I'll be going to file and clicking on place embedded. And I'm just going to open this file where I have all my reference images over here. So it is right here. This hoodie, this guy wearing a hoodie, and this is a gray hoodie and this is in a PNG format. Yeah, so I've got this opened up right here, but you are free to use any image of your choice. It can be of yourself, it can be of a friend or of a family member, or even nature photography as well. Okay, so you open an image of your choice, preferably in a PNG format. Okay, and then what I will be doing is that I'll come over here to my background layer and I'm going to add a background color, right? So that it looks much better. Okay, so I will be clicking on this fill option over here. As you can see that by default the foreground color is black. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to change my foreground color to, let's say, I'm going to keep it a darker shade of gray. And I'm going to click on Alt and Backspace so that the background gets automatically added with the same color we had chosen in our foreground color. Yeah. So once that's done, we can now go ahead and create a new layer. And over here in this new layer, I will be adding my type or my letter over here. Okay. So you can use any font of your choice. So I'm using Montserrat for this one. And this is actually a free font. In case if you want to download it and use the same font, you can. But you can use any other font if you like, right? So as you can see, Adobe Photoshop has a lot of these kinds of fonts available. Okay, so I'm using Montserrat and I'm going to keep it bold. The font size for now, I'm just going to keep it 72 and I will be changing the font color to black as of now. Okay, and you type out any letter, right? So for example, I'm going to type out the letter B in this one, right? So I'm going to, the technique is going to be the same. It's just that the letter that I'm using is going to be a little different so that you can see how this type of an effect comes into play. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is that I will be clicking on Ctrl plus T so that my letter gets selected and I will be increasing the size a little bit more. Okay. Approximately this big should be fine. Okay. I'm going to right click on my layer, on my type layer, and I'm going to convert this into a smart object. Because once that happens, it becomes easier for us to then edit this and we can play around with this, right? So I'm just going to get this letter layer. I'm just going to drag it right below my hoodie layer, as you can see over here, right? So I'm also going to just adjust my image over here a little bit according to the text size, like this. Okay. I'm going to select these two and just going to bring it down over here to the middle portion like that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make slight changes over here. So first and foremost, I'll be on my hoodie layer So click and hold on to the control key in your keyboard and select the thumbnail of the type layer like this. Okay, so because when you do that, you will see that your entire letter gets selected. Yeah. Come back here to your hoodie layer and add a layer mask. When you do that, you can see that the image that we had used gets clipped around the letter, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click on Control plus I for inverse. Okay. So the clipping mask is there, but we've inversed it. And I'm just going to make slight changes in the image as well. I'm going to make this slightly bit more bigger, right? So I have to undo this first, right? Yeah. So I'm just going to make this a little bit more bigger like this, like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in the layer mask and click on Control plus I for inverse. Okay. So once we've got this, now we can actually make some more changes over here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click on Control and select this thumbnail again, right? And I will be using my brush tool now to get rid of some of the things that I don't really need, right? So make sure that your fill is white over here, okay? And you can actually get rid of some of the portions like this of your letter, yeah? Like this, for example, I will I'm just going to remove certain bits and pieces like that, yeah? As you can see, I am able to do it pretty much easily. Wait. So you need to decide as to which portions you want to keep, which portions you do not want to keep. Right, so there's no right or wrong answer to this. So I'm just going to wait. Let's see, I just want to remove the bit of the torso over here like this. Okay, but not entirely, but somewhat like this. Okay. And I'm going to show a bit of the shoulder as well. And if you feel that you've made a mistake and you want to, get the letter back, you can just switch this so that the foreground color becomes black. And I'm just going to get this portion back over here like that. Okay, I'm just going to show it to you like this. Looks fine, right? So it looks like as if it's interweaving together like that. So I'm going to let this be as of now. Okay, and then you can click on Control plus D to deselect. Right, so you can make out that it's the letter B and we've actually, intertwined it together to make it look a lot better. But in case if you want to make any other changes, you can go back and, repeat the same process. Yes, I'm going to remove this portion over here like that. Okay, Control plus D. Right, so we can still make out that it's the letter B and you can, do intertwine it or like, in, intertwine it together like that. Okay. So once that's done, let's go ahead and add in a bit more effects on our letter over here. But I'm just going to make a couple of more changes. I like the earlier version better. I'm just going to get this letter back like that. Okay. Right. So I'll select this layer over here, which was our original text layer. So I'm going to select this FX option, which is the layer style option. Click that and select color overlay, and I will be actually changing the color to a darker shade of gray like that. Okay, and I'm going to add in inner shadow as well. Okay, so as you can see that there is slight inner shadow over here, so you can play around with the opacity. I will be increasing the opacity a little bit to about 60% like that. The blend mode is going to be multiply. And let's see, I will be making the angle to be about 40 degrees. Okay, so you can see that the effect is coming up like that. Distance Depending on the letter and the image that you are using, you can adjust the distance, the choke over here, and even the size as well. Okay. And once that's done, and you can just click on OK, and there you go. We have now successfully created our Instagram story by using images and texts in Adobe Photoshop. So as you can see, it was quite easy to make. And once that's done, you can also go ahead and save this in a JPEG file. So I'll show you how. So you can go to File, go to Save As. Okay. So I will be, for example, I have this file where I want to save it. Okay. So by default, you'll see that the Save As type is going to be in a Photoshop file. But for example, if you want to save it in a JPEG format, just click on this drop down box over here, and you'll see this JPEG format over here like this, and you click on save and OK, right? So there you go. We have now successfully created and saved our illustration, or our Instagram story in Adobe Photoshop. So now that we have come to the end of our tutorial, I hope you found this video to be useful, and with a little practice, you will be able to create more such kinds of social media posts in Adobe Photoshop very easily. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.